What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to another road trip. Manchester United taking on Liverpool at Old Trafford, man. Oh, my days. Listen, massive game. And straight off the bat, yeah, listen, with the narrative going into the international break after the Brighton loss, yeah, must not lose. Like, we cannot afford to lose. I don't think we will lose either, but I have to reiterate that fact because you can already see some of the cracks getting in there. The narrative and the feeling around everyone, it starts to get tainted, and all that optimism and sort of bright feeling that we had going into the season, which a lot of us had going into the season, it can be wiped out by like a devastating loss to Liverpool or a shit loss. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to stand up. I think they're going to be counted for, and I think they're going to make sure they get the job done and turn up today. But it's Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? We know their threats. We know how good they are. No one needs to explain anything about Liverpool. No one needs to explain to the players what this means. Not only for them, but for the fans, especially at Old Trafford. They all know it. So all of that's boring. I'm not even going to get into it's Liverpool and it's this and it's that. Everybody knows what it is. It's all about us and how we apply ourselves. And Eric has been speaking in the media. Again, he sounds bullish. I saw that he was saying, listen, since... after Pep Guardiola in the last however many years, we've been the most successful. We've got the most trophies. And, Eric, like, siege mentality. I'm going on the side of siege mentality. Of course, that's going to ramp people up who don't want him to be there. And, of course, that's going to ramp people up outside the fan base because they're going to go, is this guy deluded? Our football's not great. We finished 8th last year with a minus goal difference, miles off the top, not in the Champions League. But because you won a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, you're saying basically you're the second most successful manager after Pep in that time. And listen, factually, he said it's a fact. It's a fact with the trophies. There's going to be people of you sitting there saying, listen, it's a fact, Fleck. It's a fact. Don't let the media, and it's true. I've been on that. Like, they need to let us decide how we want to feel about our team, not just negative. But obviously, when Eric says stuff like that, it's because he's just had enough. He's just had enough of the negativity. And you know what? I don't mind it. Because like we say in the press conferences, people get angry that the players lie. That the manager lies and this, that and the other. I saw people saying, oh, how did he say Sancho was going to stay, but then he left? Have you seen what happens when you come out and say players got to leave and they're not going to get no minutes? You take value off of their price tag. Yeah? That's what they did with flipping Raheem Sterling. And look at the shit that Chelsea are in now because they had to let him go. So I don't care about that when in the press conference, and I have learnt that more. But it does come with pressure. And it starts today. It's Arne Slot's first game at Old Trafford in the Premier League. I know he came back with AZ before and lost. But we need to give him a baptism of fire, man. It's Liverpool. I want the cavalry brought in. We got to get the Ligt in there now. He has to start. In the absence of Mason Mount, Zirkzee has to start, surely. And the big one is Rashford, man. The big one is Rashford, because really, he shouldn't really be starting this game. On form and with how it's looking like it's turning out right now, we haven't seen enough of improvement. And Ahmad, he's been mixed. Let's not paint the picture. He's been absolutely brilliant for every part of, the 2 games he started already, or 3, including the Community Shield. He hasn't. But, he got his goal last week, but just before he's probably going to get taken off. And he has been contributing. Garnacho's chomping at the bit and deserves to start a game. And Rashford is the one you're looking at. Rashford's the one on the left-hand side where you're going, are you doing enough, bro? Are you doing enough to keep that spot? And I don't think he has. But here's the thing. But if there is one game where Rashi can turn up and put a shift in and be on it, it's Liverpool at home. And I think that's why Eric will probably start him again. I'll be stunned if he doesn't. I was wrong about this last time, but I think he might take out Ahmad. If he does keep faith in Ahmad and keep Garnacho as like this super sub coming on, I won't be mad, but I will feel it a little bit for Garnacho. But I have said at the same time, it's about having different weapons. It's about having different options. It's about having different, substitutions available to hurt opposition as the game goes on. Liverpool got that in abundance. They've got good players who can come on to change a game. They've got Darwin Núñez. They've got Harvey Elliott. They now got Chiesa. They've got flipping, Endo if they want to calm down the game or something if he hasn't started, because Gravenberch is getting games now. They've got Cody Gakpo, like they got Curtis Jones. I think he's injured, but you get my drift. Like they've got players who can impact the game, and that's what you need from the bench. And actually, when you flip it to look at the positives of Garnacho not starting, it's that can you get some change out of Rashford for 65, 70 minutes? Can you get something out of Ahmad for the same time frame? Because you got this kid who's gonna be chomping at the bit and come on and change the game in like the 60th minute. You know, is Rashford coming on in the 60th minute when he's pissed off sulking? What's he going to look like? Ahmad coming on off the bench. Different type of player. But look when he come off the bench against Liverpool last time. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's about options, and we need to remember that. Sometimes we get fixated on this player must start, and we forget about actually it's about who can impact the bench the best as well. And Garnacho definitely is that. But the reason why he deserves to start is because even if he starts, we know what we're going to get. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get that application. And of course, if it doesn't go right for him, then take him out. Midfield, again, no Mason Mount. Once again, you lot know how much I'm backing Mason Mount and really want it to work. But I have been saying, and Owen's been saying it, if he keep, a lot of people have already, but I'm talking about me personally, there's going to come a point fairly soon where you got to go, what's happened? What has happened? Injured all year in the first year. Fingers crossed this is one of few injuries he has this year, but it's not a great start. 2 games in, out for 5 weeks. Lucky he's got an international break there, where there could be, you know, a week / a couple of weeks to kind of to get training and get himself fit to minimize the impact of being out. But he said, I'll be out for a few games already. 2 games in. I want you to hear it from me. Obviously, he's gutted. Yes, he's not getting injured on purpose. I actually do feel for him. At Chelsea, he was so robust. He used to play all the time. But the last 2 years, I have no idea what's happened to him. In the last year at Chelsea, he was injured quite a lot, obviously last year, and look how he started this year. So not great, but that means Bruno will go back to his rightful position. And actually, what's weird is that this is probably the game where you would play that 4-4-2 or that 4-2-2 or that 4-2-4, whatever you want to call it, with the 2 false nines off the ball, be compact. Ugarte, I don't think was registered in time. I don't think he's going to be involved, is what I saw. I saw him in training, but I don't think he's going to be in the matchday squad, unless I'm mistaken on that. I have not really been at it for the last few days, so forgive me if that was an obvious one and I've missed that. But I don't think Ugarte is registered. So it seems like you got to go Casemiro, Kobe, and Bruno. And what's weird is that because our replacement for Scott McTominay's not actually in there yet, in Ugarte, I think, we're actually weaker for this game. Like, you haven't got Scott McTominay who can just put in a shift and carry out some basic instructions. You haven't got Amrabat anymore who can do the same thing. So you've taken out them two. And as it stands, obviously, we have replaced him with Ugarte, but he's not there yet. So for this game, and now Mason Mount's not there, that's 3 midfielders that we actually don't have for this game. And in midfield, there's no other options apart from Christian Eriksen, bless him. And it's like, if Kobe, Bruno, and Casemiro, they're going to have to deal with the 90 in there. There's not any other way of really switching that up, if I'm honest. Like, what can you do? So it's important, Zirkzee, I'm pretty sure, will get a start. How long can he last? How fit is he as well? He's going to have to hold on to the ball. He'll be up against probably Konate and Van Dijk. I don't think Konate will come back in. He's gonna have to find out what these games are about. Get his touches in nice and early. Know the strengths of his opponent, and let's feed him. Let's give him opportunities. No, he's not a prolific goal scorer, but the calm nature of him and the physical stature of him is going to be much needed, and we just have to be on it. And no stupid mistakes. That's the biggest thing. We have to cut out the mistakes. So, having said that, I'm going for a Man United win. I've got to be positive, man. It's negative after that Brighton loss. We're pissed off about it, but listen, at the end of the day, we have to be positive, man. Until there's evidence not to be, we have to be positive. I'm going to back the boys, man. 2-1 win, Manchester United. Let's have it. Owen's going to be on the match view. Check it out with him, and we'll have all the reaction later on outside Old Trafford. I'm waiting for KG to come, and we're going to make our way up there in a second. So, yeah, well, not in a second, but a little later. But come on, man. Just do not lose this game. Please do not lose. I'm out of it. Peace.